Brazil is just coming off in the first quarter a real big fall in its GDP numbers, 0.2% in the first quarter. We've seen the interest rates cut by the Brazilian central bank to a record low of 8.5%. And so our reporter, Caroline Chimenti, has been out and assessing the state today of the Brazilian economy.
At $2.5 trillion, Brazil's economy now ranks 6th among the world's largest, according to the IMF. Growth managed to withstand the worst global crisis since the Great Depression. In 2010, the Latin American powerhouse expanded 7.5%. A marked slowdown followed as the Eurozone crisis unfolded, but many now see economic activity in Brazil picking up again this year. A growing middle class and the rising commodity prices have fueled Brazil's boom since 2003. Resources prices have fallen, but the middle class is still spending and expanding. 36 million people rose above the poverty line between 2003 and 2011. Another 10 million will join them before 2014, according to Brazil's central bank's latest estimates. Robert Ellison, managing partner at Shearman & Sterling São Paulo, agrees.
I think this will continue, probably more slowly, but it will continue even as the rest of the world cools down.
Many challenges still remain for Brazil as it attempts to shift away from commodity-led growth. According to estimates by the World Economic Forum, the country's infrastructure is among the worst in the world, and the private sector is still burned by high taxes and low productivity. But there are opportunities. Rising consumer prices have given the central bank room to cut interest rates to a historic low. The Brazilian real is weakening steadily, allowing local manufacturers to compete better at home and abroad. Ilan Goldfein, chief economist at Itaú Bank, says these two major events could make a difference.
We estimate the impact of the World Cup and the Olympics at around 1.5% of GDP, so 1.5% higher.
Brazil is also hoping to benefit from investment in its infrastructure as it prepares to host the World Cup in 2014 and the Olympics in places like this here in Rio de Janeiro in 2016.
World Cup fever may be just the push Brazil needs to make overdue reforms and overhaul its infrastructure before joining the world to celebrate the goals. From Rio de Janeiro, Carolina Chimenti, CNBC.
All right, Carolina Chimenti with that report. Now, besides, of course, that interview with the central bank president I talked about, we'll